What is up, you guys? Welcome back to another one. If you are new to the channel, I am Gold Pony, and today we are in the new refreshed 2019 Hyundai Tucson, courtesy of Jack Giambalvo Hyundai in York, PA. And so today we will be putting this one to the test. So as always, let's start with pricing. And so let me first start by saying there are 6 different trim levels for the 2019 Tucson. First one being the SE, starting at $22,200. Next one being the value trim, which is the one we have today, starting at $23,650. Then you have the SEL for $24,600. Sport starts at $26,700. Limited is going to start at $27,900, and lastly the Ultimate for $30,550. But so then, as far as the power plant goes, there are actually 2 different engine subs for 2019. No turbocharged engine available this year though, and I mentioned that because that is one of the changes for 2019. So the first power plant is going to be powered by a 2-liter naturally aspirated inline 4-cylinder. This is going to come standard on the SE trim level and the value that we have today. But for this one, power numbers come in at 161 horsepower at 6,200 RPM and 150 pound-feet of torque available at 4,000 RPM. Power can be sent to the front wheels or all wheels through Hyundai/Genesis's H-Track all-wheel drive system. And I put it that way because previously that H-Track all-wheel drive was only available on Genesis, which is Hyundai's luxury division, but now it has trickled down to Hyundai, so that is pretty exciting. And I can tell you also from owning my own Hyundai Santa Fe, the all-wheel drive system is amazing. It actually pushes through snow and winter conditions just fine, so I've had no issues with mine. But so anyways, power is sent to the ground through a 6-speed automatic, giving you MPG numbers coming in at 23 in the city, 30 on the highway for the front-wheel drive, 22 city, 25 on the highway for the all-wheel drive. But then there is that other engine setup, and that is going to be for the SEL trim level and up, and that power plant is going to come from a 2.4-liter naturally aspirated inline 4-cylinder, putting out 181 horsepower at 6,000 RPM and 175 pound-feet of torque available at 4,000 RPM, again sent to front wheels or all wheels through a 6-speed automatic, giving you MPG numbers at 22 in the city, 28 on the highway for the front-wheel drive, 21 city, 26 highway for the all-wheel drive. But so then directly behind the shifter there is a button labeled drive mode, and if you press that, that is going to shift you into sport mode. It is naturally in that normal driving mode without pressing that. But what that sport mode is going to do is downshift for you, giving you more power on demand. So it is going to increase the throttle response and alter the shift points for you, so you guys know what we have to do next. Let's do a quick little acceleration in the 2019 Tucson and see how quickly we can get this one here up to speed. So it makes a lot of noise when you really give it the gas, but really not the quickest acceleration, I gotta say. But that is to be expected from the entry-level naturally aspirated 4-cylinder engine we have today. And so then to go along with that acceleration, braking is equally important. And of course, you will get 4-wheel disc brakes with the Hyundai Tucson. And as far as the braking feel goes, wow. Definitely no issues there. And I can actually say the Hyundai Santa Fe that I own is definitely a very nice braking feel as well. It immediately brings you to a stop, so you gotta love that. When it comes to handling and ride quality, up front you will get a McPherson strut front suspension with coil springs. In the back, an independent multi-link rear suspension, and the Tucson will also give you front and rear gas pressurized shock absorbers as well as front and rear stabilizer bars. And as far as the steering feel goes, honestly it is as expected, which is definitely on the looser side. Typically SUVs do tend to lean on the looser side, maybe with the exception of Audi, Porsche, or even Mazda perhaps. But the ride quality is really where this one does well, and Hyundai is definitely known for that. Ride quality is definitely on point, soaking up PA's road imperfections just fine. Cabin noise or lack thereof is definitely also a strong suit on this one, no issues there. And when it comes to visibility, I can see perfectly fine out the back there, so you're not going to have any issues there either. But so enough of the driving dynamics, let me set up for some exterior shots here, and let's check out the exterior of this newly refreshed 2019 Hyundai Tucson. And so up front you will find for the lower trim levels there are projector beam halogen headlights, but they do come with the automatic feature, meaning when it starts to get dark out they will turn on automatically for you, so you don't have to worry about that. But that is going to be for the SE, the value, and the SEL trim levels. Then when you jump up to the Sport, Limited, or Ultimate trims, you will find LED headlights with LED daytime running lights to go along with that, and there will be fog lights just below for those trims as well. But in the center between the headlights there is a a redesigned front grille that is part of the refresh for the 2019 Tucson. Also, silver accents you will find on the front bumper if you go with the SEL trim level and up. Then make your way to the side. There is rear privacy glass for every single trim level. If you go with the value trim and up, which is the one again that we have today, you will find roof rails up top actually as well. And there will be power adjustable body colored side mirrors for every single trim level. They will come heated if you go with the value trim and up, and you will get integrated turn signals within those side mirrors if you go with either the limited or ultimate trim. Then take a look down at the wheel setup. They are going to differ slightly depending on the trim. Once again, 17-inch alloy wheels for the SE and value trim levels, 18-inch alloy wheels for the SEL, Limited, and Ultimate, and lastly, the Sport is going to give you the largest wheel setup, coming in at 19 inches. Then make your way to the back. Every single trim level is going to give you a rear spoiler with an integrated brake light. Just below that, a rear window wiper, and those taillights are actually slightly redesigned for the 2019 model year, once again part of the refresh, and they will come as LED taillights if you go with the Sport, Limited, or Ultimate trims. But just below it all, single exhaust outlet with a chrome tip for every single trim level, so you guys know what we have to do next. As always, here is that exhaust clip. So, but now since we are around back, to open that rear hatch, there actually is a button on the key fob that I have today. It actually just unlocks it though, if you were interested what that button actually does. If you wanted a hands-free power lift gate, you're gonna have to jump up to the Sport, Limited, or Ultimate trim. But once opened up, cargo capacity is gonna come in at 31 cubic feet behind that second row. If you wanted to fold that second row down though, that is gonna bump the cubic feetness up to 61.9. I did want to also mention with the Tucson, there is underfloor storage that comes standard as well. So if you wanted to conceal some hidden items, that is where you're going to want to put that. Then make your way up to the rear seat legroom that comes in at 38.2 inches. And I did want to mention, if you go with the Ultimate trim level, those rear seats, they are going to be heated for you. Again, that's just for the Ultimate trim though, but it's there for you if you wanted it. Also, the SEL trim level and up is going to give you a second row USB charging port. All trim levels are going to give you a center armrest with cup holders, and again with the SEL and up, you're going to get rear ventilation for that second row as well, but not for the value trim though that we have today. But then make your way to the front seats. Cloth seating will come standard on all trims but the Limited and Ultimate. You can imagine those two trim levels are going to give you leather seating, and if you go with that value trim level and up that we have today, you will get a power driver seat as well as heated front seats, which is especially important when it's 29 degrees in Pennsylvania like it is right now. So I've definitely had them on. They're very nice. Ultimate trim level is going to give you ventilated front seats for the summer. And if you look forward, there is a tilt and telescoping steering wheel. It is going to be leather wrapped and heated for the Limited and Ultimate trims. But so then when it comes to the startup, let me first start by showing you guys the key here. You do have your Hyundai logo on the one side, and when you flip it over, lock, unlock, and that button to pop the rear hatch. And if you wanted a push button start, that is actually going to come standard on the value trim level and up. Therefore, I do have that. So I am simply just going to put my foot on the brake here and press that engine start button. But so then once started up, tachometer is going to be on your left, speedometer is on your right, also the fuel gauge within that speedometer as well. And there is a small digital display front and center letting you know how many miles you have left until you hit empty, as well as some safety features, your tire pressure, and the all-wheel drive status, which by the way, just by the driver's left knee, there is an all-wheel drive system lock. That is what I put it in when it starts snowing out. That is going to hold the vehicle in that all-wheel drive setup, so you don't have any issues with pushing through the snow or anything like that, but wanted to mention that for you guys. And then when it comes to overall interior quality, there is dual zone climate control on the SEL trim level and up. Also a wireless phone charger if you go with the Sport, Limited, or Ultimate. Overhead sunglass holder is going to come standard on every single trim level. There's going to be a panoramic moonroof for the Ultimate. And overall, I gotta say, I do like the color combination that is in this particular Tucson that we have today. The very top of the interior here, that is a soft touch material. The middle part here is a carbon fiber look, but it is a hard plastic. It is not real carbon fiber, but still nice look to it. Just below that, another hard plastic. Overall, definitely a very nice look to it here. But next, I wanted to mention the tech display on this one, because Hyundai always gets it right when it comes to tech. I will say that. 7-inch color touchscreen display will come standard on every single trim level but the Ultimate, because Ultimate trim level is simply going to bump that up an inch to an 8-inch color touchscreen display. But either way, this is where it gets really good. Bluetooth and audio streaming comes standard, that's boring, but Android Auto and Apple CarPlay come standard on every single trim level. You gotta love that, because here's why. If you have a smartphone, it gives you free navigation that's going to be displayed up in that display screen there, as well as the ability to like and dislike your Pandora songs. Also use that quite often. That's very nice. You can also check out your climate control info up there. If you wanted the factory navigation, that is going to come standard with the Ultimate. You can also check out your radio settings up on that display screen. 6 speakers is going to come with the SE Value and SEL trim levels. However, you will get 8 speakers with the subwoofer if you go with the Sport, Limited, or Ultimate. But we do have the 6-speaker sound system today, so let's turn on the radio and let's test out the clarity of this one. Sound system's it's okay. It's not the best I've ever heard, not the most bass I've ever heard, but it'll do for this one. Honestly, if you wanted the better sound system, you got the Sport, Limited, or Ultimate. I just happen to have the 6-speaker sound system today. So, but last thing I wanted to mention on that tech display is when you do put the 2019 Tucson in reverse, there is a reverse camera for every single trim level, and you will get a surround view monitor if you go with the Limited or Ultimate, so you can have that sky view and see what is around you at all times. But as always, that is going to lead me into safety. And so to start, there are front, side, and side curtain airbags. Also in the back, there is latch, aka lower anchors and tethers for children for the rear car seats. Also rear child door locks back there. There is a tire pressure monitoring system, as I previously alluded to. Also where the Tucson definitely shines, for every single trim level, you will get a driver attention warning system. Also lane keep assist and forward collision avoidance assist, also standard for all trim levels. Value trim level and up that we have today is going to add a blind spot monitoring system with rear cross traffic alert. Kinda wish I had that on my 2017 Santa Fe, but whatever. And lastly, the Ultimate trim level is going to give you an adaptive cruise control system. And so, but that is about it for this one, you guys. Thank you so much for watching. Be sure to like the video and subscribe. Feel free to follow me on social media at the bottom of the screen there, and I will see you guys in the next video. Stay gold.